Okay, so we're gonna start nice and easy, nice and slow, actually. So the first couple exercises we're going to be holding for a couple minutes, and just kind of targeting similar areas. So adductors and hamstrings to start with. Okay, so first one we're going to do is just the butterfly stretch. So that one is sat down, pushing knees out and flat on the floor, so getting as low as you can, and pulling the chest up as straight as you can. So we're going to be holding that one for 2 minutes. So that's where we're going to start. So start nice and easy, maybe nothing too aggressive, and just see how you get on. So we want chest up nice and tall. You can use your hands to pull yourself in as well, obviously. And pulling them knees flat to the floor. And then we just want to focus on the breathing. Big breaths in. Nice and slow out. That's it. Good. Just get comfy. The more comfortable you are, the easier you're gonna find it. Coming up to the minute mark, so we've got 1 more minute left. Nice big chest still, really trying to sit up tall, straight back, and then pulling those knees down. You can use those elbows to push the knees down if it helps, but just keep trying to pull that chest up as you do it. Just 30 seconds left. Okay, last 15. All right, really drive those knees down now. Pull them down with the glutes as well as pushing with the elbows and forearms. 2 seconds. Okay. That was loud. Okay, next one. We are going to move straight in to a hamstring one. So lying, sat flat, knees down, toes pulled to you if you can. If that hurts behind the knees too much, then just relax the toes forwards. We're going to hold that for 2 minutes as well. All right. And we're just going to be leaning over, reaching for the toes like we do most weeks. Brought myself a little resistance band to help hold me in position this time. So you can use a towel, you can use a coat, you can use a resistance band, anything that's, because I can't quite reach my feet, not comfortably anyway. This is what I'm going to use. And we just want the stretch all in the back of the legs, really trying to round the body. You can tuck the chin in for extra stretch all up the back into the neck as well. And we're just going to hold this. So we've got a 2 minute hold here, really focusing on the hamstrings now. And again, just focus on your breathing. Big breaths in and out. We're coming up to the minute mark now, so make it a little bit harder somehow. So maybe you reach further. Maybe you start to pull your toes up if you weren't. Try and get that chest lower to the knees. And then keep breathing, nice and slow as usual. Just relax. That's it, almost there. A few more seconds, 20 seconds left. And just ease in again. Maybe pull a bit further for the last 10. Okay, so we have 2 down. Next 2, we're going to do both of the ones against the wall that we've done previously. So we're going to target the adductors again, the groin again. So this one will be, if you've got the space on your wall, you're going to be doing the ones with legs apart. If you don't, then you can go into the wall butterfly. So your choice. If you've got the space, I would try the straight leg V. If you don't, then you'll have to settle for the butterfly, but it's a good stretch still. So I can just about get the V. So we're going to be holding this for 2 minutes, and we just want to try and let gravity do the work, trying to pull the legs out. And just sit. Think about pushing the hips into the corner of the wall and try and keep the legs straight at the knees too. And we're just going to sit here and relax for 2 minutes as well. So a few long holds to start. Nice and relaxing. Just close your eyes. Big breaths. That's it. Nice and controlled breathing. Every now and again, just see if your legs will go a little bit wider, just to get a bit more of a stretch, right in the middle of the thigh, inner thighs. You might find a bit of a stretch in the hamstrings. That's fine as well. And just keep breathing again. We've had a minute already, so we're into our last 50 seconds now. I'm saying keep pushing the hips down into the wall. You might find you end up moving that way, and you can just readjust if that's the case. Last 30 seconds. Try and go a bit wider for the last little bit. Big stretch. Almost there. 5 more seconds. Okay, so we're going to stay where we are for the next one. Legs are just going to be straight. So again, we're focusing on hamstrings. Same thing, straight knees, literally like we've just done, sat down. We're just spending more time in the stretch. So pushing the knees straight, trying to pull the toes towards us, and another 2 minutes in this position. So again, pushing the bum into the corner of the wall. Just hold there. The more you pull your toes towards you, towards your shins, the harder the stretch on the back. You can also play around with the rotation of the thighs to see if there's a position in which you find a better stretch. For most people, it's just keeping them straight though, and that's good. This is just about, it's just about spending time in these positions for most people. You don't have to do anything extreme. Coming up to a minute gone, so it'll be just one more. So if you want an added stretch, you can put your hands overhead and try and work on some overhead mobility too. Last 40 seconds. For the last bit, I'm just going to rotate my toes in. I'm going to target those outer hamstrings a little bit more for me. I just want to hold that now. Keep pulling them toes. 15 seconds left. Okay. Next time on that one. All right. Next up, we have a chest stretch. So it's going to be single arm. We can do it against the wall or against, well, anything really. We're just going to do a minute per side, and it's, yeah, 1 minute. So basically clean this. Oh, you can't see, I can do it on my knees. So all the forearm against the wall or the wardrobe, whatever you've got, and you're just going to kind of, don't crank on it too much. You're just going to put a little bit of rotational pressure onto the elbow essentially, which is just going to pull the chest. Okay. Oh, probably should hit play on the timer. All right. So basically, we're trying to just get the elbow as far back as it will go, but without putting too much force through it. We don't want any injuries. So hopefully, you're just feeling this in the chest. You can play with position of the hand. It can go higher. It can go lower. Have a play. You'll probably find high is a little bit better for the chest. I'm just going to hold. Big breaths as usual. Not long left. Maybe you can rotate a little bit more. That's good. Okay, we're just going to change sides. So straight in, you know what to do now. So don't rotate too much too soon, just enough to get a little stretch. And again, you can play with the position of the arm higher. Maybe it can go a bit lower. Usually the lower it goes, the more you can rotate. We'll only do that if you feel a good stretch. And it's as much pushing the chest forward as it is rotating as well. Almost there, a few more seconds. Keep going, a few seconds left. There it is. Okay. Quick drink. If I find it's thirsty work. Good. Okay. Next one, we're going to do the prayer stretch. And that's the one. So it's lying down in that position. We do it regularly. 2 minutes as well. Okay. So we might do 3 minutes. We'll see if you're enjoying it. So try and get the hips low. Try and get the hands far away. Trying to get the chest through the shoulders as much as you can. And we're just going to stay in there. I'm just going to try and relax into the position. Just breathe into it. You can play around with the position of your knees, maybe going a bit wider lets you get a bit lower and get more stretch in the lats. You might also get a bit of a groin stretch as well. Feel free to maneuver, change things a bit. Big slow breaths as usual. Just relax into it. Every now and again, just push into the stretch a bit more before then you relax again. Good. 1 more minute. That's right, guys. Good job. So really pushing that chest into the floor now. Trying to get as much stretch as we can. But definitely relax. Few more seconds. Yeah, I've got 30 seconds left. Okay, good. Relax out a bit. Nice work. Next up, we're going to do some cat-cow. So we've got a couple of minutes doing cat-cow. So that's the one in the quadruped position on all fours. And you're just going to rotate through end ranges for the spine. So going through full extension, controlled into full flexion. Okay. So nice and slow movement, just kind of almost trying to keep one vertebrae at a time. So maybe you start with the neck looking up, then you work through the rest of the spine down to the bum, show the bum off, and then curl with the neck, and then the shoulders, and then start to tuck the bum under and push the floor away. So nice and slow movements, taking it to end range. Make sure you're not cranking too much in either direction. Just take it as far as you can. Hold each position for a few seconds, and then slowly release and go through to the next. Keep going with the slow breathing. Take a good breath in each position, and then you can unfold. Really work on that spine mobility. If you know you struggle doing a particular movement, then you can spend more time in there. If you know you've got maybe a tight back, then you could possibly spend a bit more time into this position, really focusing on the hips and tucking under there. And when you're in this position, make sure you're trying to crunch the abs as well. Really tuck that chin under. Let's go one more. And back through. Good. 2 minutes went past. Good. Okay. Next up, have a really nice, easy one. We're just going to do a standing forward bend. So just literally stood up and literally bending forward. So we're going to try and keep the legs straight. We're going for hamstrings and back stretching again. Some of you will be able to touch the floor easy. Some of you won't, like me. That's fine. Just try and keep those legs straight. And a little bend would be fine if it lets you get a stretch in an area that you actually want it. If you're not fussed, then just keep them straight and just reach for the floor. And we're just going to hold it for 2 minutes. Okay. That's it. So just really relax into it. Relax the upper body. Just push the knees straight, and that's it. Just let the hands dangle. Big belly breaths as usual. Really want just passive stretching at the minute. So just let it all dangle. See how much closer I am to the wall, to the floor already, just from relaxing. So in this last minute, maybe you can pull yourself down a little bit more with the hands. If you can hook under your toes, maybe. And big breaths again. Almost there now. Keep going a little bit longer. Just a few more seconds. Good. Awesome. Okay. Next one, we have the night stretch. So we're actually going to do this one into that hamstring variation that we did a few weeks ago. So to start with in this position, if you can, foot up, tuck the bum under, and then push the entire hip complex forwards. So when I push forwards, I'm not letting myself do that. So stay tucked, ribs down. Just going to hold that for a second, couple seconds, and push back into hamstrings. So on this one, I actually want it in the hamstrings quite a lot. So if you straighten your knee and you just find it behind the knee, then keep a little bend. And then hold that position. And then a few seconds and go back into the night stretch. Tuck the bum under. Again, because it's something you will forget that. Every time you move back into it, think bum under, glute on, abs on, and then back to the hamstring. You can lean over as much as you want on the hamstring. You can pull the toe up if you want to, and if you're fine with straightening, you can do that too. Back through. Move through at your own pace, that's fine. If you want to spend more time in this night stretch, stretching the hip, fine, you can do that. If the priority for you is still hamstring, you can spend more time here. Couple more rotations through. Okay, we're going to swap sides. First things first, get the right position, tuck the bum under. You can play around with your position of the front leg. You can go further forward if you prefer. Doesn't matter too much, as long as this position's good. It might help on this one here. So as you probably saw then, wait, oh, you didn't because you're busy. On the hamstring one, my toe tends to fall out to make it easier. So if I pull it in, I get a bit more of a hamstring stretch, something you can play with. The body almost goes to the path of least resistance. So that's what you did. But we don't necessarily want that. Again, glute squeezing, ribs down, trying to lengthen this. Back to hamstring. Okay, so I'm just spending a couple breaths in each position. Got a few more rotations of this. Almost there. And go through one more on this side. And back to hamstring. Good few breaths and then rest. Okay, to finish, we are going to do another hip flexor stretch because we focused on the hamstrings and back mainly today. So we're going to go back to, we haven't done it for a few weeks. So if you remember, I had to do it on the bed. So it's the one in the night stretch where you grab your foot. So I use the bed to give myself some support into that position here. So really just trying to focus on pulling the quad into as much of a stretch as possible. You don't need that if you can do it well in that position, that's fine. It might, for me, it's a little bit much, so I like to lean over into the bed. And we're just going to hold it for a couple of minutes. That's all, each side. Well, if we've got the time, we'll do a minute on each side. Okay, so here we go. So pull that heel as far to your bum as you can. And if you're good enough, you can come up right. Make sure you're still tucking the bum under, squeezing the glute. We don't want to sacrifice the position at all. And to do that, I have to use the bed. So I can get up into here using my lumbar spine, but that's not what I want. Just 15 seconds, then we'll change sides. Keep squeezing that glute. Keep pulling the heel. Okay, let's swap sides, last minute. So 40 seconds and we're done. Breathe into the stretch. Last 20, guys. Keep squeezing the glute. Don't sacrifice it. Okay. That's it. That's us done. Nice work. Lots of hammies in there today.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. What guys? Good.
Thanks a lot. Have a good weekend, Dom.
Yes, you too, guys. See you all on Monday.
See you Monday.
Bye.
See ya. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye-bye.